Greetings, everyone. This channel is known for talking about documentation and politics. We have not spoken about development in our communities. Zimbabwe has a large diaspora community that seeks information on how to develop their communities. Whether one has a Zimbabwe exemption permit or not, but at some point, you might want to retire to your rural village. In this video, very shortly, we want to give advice to the diaspora community on what they need to do in investing back in Zimbabwe. I am Ngabuto Nicholas Mabena. Please like this video, subscribe, and share with your friends that are in the diaspora, be it in South Africa, in Europe, in North America. Well, there are some like me who grew up in the village who would always want to have that attachment with the village. But because people have lived in big cities, in Johannesburg, in London, in Washington, in New York, when they get back to their villages, they find it strange because you will have to buy kengis. You remember kengis and those paraffin lights that we used in the village. But of course, we're modernizing. We are modernizing. We are living in the new era. We also have to pass through, or have passed the stage of going to the well to fetch water. We grew up in villages where there is no running water. As we plan our retirement, we need to focus in building our rural homes. There are those that are in the diaspora that are not able to buy residential stands in cities or even houses in cities because buying property in Zimbabwe is expensive. The property market is dollarized, even though we use the RTGs, but we buy property using US dollars. We will do a video on how to purchase residential stands in cities, particularly in Bulawayo. But for now, let's look into the development of our rural communities. Underground water in Zimbabwe is owned by Zinwa. If you are in Zimbabwe, you'll know that underground water is owned by Zinwa. We are different from villages in South Africa where there's piped water in most areas, or even some villages in North America where some of my friends live. We do not have piped water. So for you to have proper running water in your homestead, you need to drill a borehole. And to drill a borehole, you need permission from Zinwa. We've been trying to check how much it costs to drill a borehole in Zimbabwe, and we'll be recommending one of the comedians that we know. If you come from Matebeleland, you know one of the comedians, Madlela Kaskobokobo. He's an ambassador to one of the companies that is drilling boreholes. And we think because he's a popular person, people know him, he cannot be a crook. So this is why we thought we need to refer you to. If you are drilling a borehole, because if you are building your homestead, you drill a borehole, what they do is that it costs about 1,600 US dollars. That is 40 meters. Of course, areas are different. For instance, where I come from in my home village, water is not that deep. So 40 meters will be too long if I'm drilling in my own village. But there are other dry prone areas where you need to dig up to 40 meters or go beyond 40 meters. So that would be about 1,600 US dollars. If you are using rands, we can calculate this by 15. So you will know how much that will be. Assuming you are not able, if you are in South Africa, you are not able to move to other visas, and you want to take your pension from your company, you want to take your benefits. The company wants to pay you your benefits, and you are wondering on what you might do in terms of investment. We encourage you that you drill a borehole and start agricultural projects in your area. We know that the communal land you don't have to purchase because in our communal lands are passed, that plot is passed from one generation to the other. I've included in this video the contact for Madlela Kobo Kobo, which is 00 263 77 87 26592. If you want to drill a borehole, it's important that we give you this advice. You can buy your solar panel, which you will not struggle. You don't have to use that old system of pumping water from a borehole. These days is modernized. You use this is solar panel thing. Madlelas, Kobo Kobo, and others that you know will give you advice on how to drill and connect to your house so that you have access to water in your village. And if you have this communal plot, you then turn it into some kind of irrigation. You have seen others that are using that dripping system. So instead of you going to queue at the district offices asking for land, trying to register for land, and then they will tell you that you must have a ZANU PF membership card for you to have access to some kind of a plot where you can do your farming. Turn your homestead into an irrigation system where you can survive. We were talking with other comrades doing a research that a city like Bulawayo, Harare, they need produce like onions. They need that. So if you farm onions, if you farm tomatoes, if you farm vegetables, you might actually survive in Zimbabwe. So it is important that you might want to set a budget for building such. And those that want to move to rural areas, and if, say, your own family moved out of the villages during the liberation struggle and they didn't return, and you want to go back to the village, you don't have to buy land in the communal areas. Land in the communal areas is under the ownership of the community, the chieftainship that controls the land there. So you don't buy land. There are other people that have moved, will not return. We call it Amanwa, is now ruins, which you can utilize there. So if you go there, you speak to the local headmen, they can make, they can avail that land to you. So please, like this video, subscribe, circulate, and share us your views. I have seen in a number of platforms where people are talking about going back to the rural. So if you are unable to move to other visas, you want to return to Zimbabwe, why burden yourself by staying in a city where it is expensive? Why not stay in a rural area, have access to clean water, which is underground, put your solar system? Otherwise, comrades, goodbye.